In Bozeman, Montana yesterday, NBC's Ali Vitale asked a Trump supporter and mother of 2 daughters about the accusations against Kavanaugh.
Groping a woman, which is, what is that, at 18? I mean, how many guys, you know, think that's no big deal? Even back then, it was, it's not a big deal. It doesn't just take away from his character and his job to do what he needs to do as a Supreme Court nominee. If he was pro-abortion, the liberals wouldn't be fighting this hard. We're all sick and tired of hearing about the Kavanaugh thing because it's not supported by any facts or evidence whatsoever.
So guys, as you saw in that video, it's clear that white supremacy, they follow a code. They are always on code. Just like when I say about black people, the only code that black people follow collectively as a group is the Coon Code. That's all we follow, but we don't have a code that we follow at all. You see, we're the only group of people, and I said this before, we're the only group of people that want equal rights, that want to just fit in with modern society, aka the dominant white society. We want equal, we want equality, we want fairness. While other groups of people, they don't want that. They want to rule with the iron fist. They want to dominate, and they want to subjugate, mistreat, disenfranchise other groups of people. And that's called racism, white supremacy. And so when you have a group of people that have been doing that for centuries, right? For a long time, black people have been docile, have been socially engineered and conditioned to think one way, which is equality, fairness, equal rights, right? And so with this guy, Brett Kavanaugh, who is, you know, Donald Trump already co-signs this guy. Clockwork Orange already co-signs this guy and wants to have this guy sit in the seat in the Supreme Court and making sure the Supreme Court is on the white supremacy, aka the conservative side, right? But this guy is already protected under the code, under the system of racism, white supremacy, under the head and the leader of white supremacy, which is Clockwork Orange, number 45, aka Donald Trump. So it's pretty much as a matter of it's going to come down to basically this, right? You're having this guy who has a past of sexual allegations where women are coming out and accusing him of sexual misconduct, you know, aka the Me Too movement and all that stuff. It's of course it's very similar to Bill Cosby, similar to Harvey Weinstein, similar to Charlie Sheen, and a whole list of other white people that have been accused of sexual misconduct. But again, they're covered by the code of white supremacy because they follow a code and we don't. And so in my last video where I talked about Bill Cosby and I said, you know, I don't care about, or I don't feel sorry about Bill Cosby, you know, I got a lot of backlash regarding that video. You know, a lot of people, you know, in the comment section and things of that nature, you know, thought of me saying that was very harsh and they didn't want me to throw him under the bus and stuff like that. But again, we don't follow a code. Bill Cosby was following a code of white supremacy. The same talking points he's talked about by bringing up racial stereotypes of black people, how we can't talk and we can't dress in single parent households. When you have a guy like him who is wealthy, right? Who has, of course, you know, as far as his track record as a comedian and his work and things of that nature, he's a legend when it comes to that. But for a guy like him of his stature to preach about, you know, making sure that our children are not growing up in single parent households, we have nobody else to blame but ourselves for our faults, right? And we need to talk and dress better and things of that nature. And he always talked about conduct and making sure that we fix our own problems. And you know, just making sure that we're all on a straight and narrow path, and conduct is key. To the point of what he was saying, especially in that pound cake speech. He is a hypocrite. He lived a life of pure hypocrisy. He stepped outside his marriage numerous times. All right, behind closed doors with these allegations of all these sexual, you know, all these sexual accusations from Bill Cosby, 60 plus women coming out the woodworks, drugging them, etc. Right? Especially with the Caucasian females. You did exactly the opposite of what you talked about pertaining to black society, which is why I said that all he's been doing for decades is denigrating black society, bigging up himself, and bidding the ideology of white supremacy. Because those same talking points that he talks down about regarding black society are the same talking points a white supremacist would say about us. Because that's what they told him to say in order for him to go ahead and buy back NBC, which of course that was a farce. So going back to the video with these white troglodyte women, man, again, they follow a code. So they condone groping, just like Donald Trump, you know, obviously wants to grab women by the pussy, and the voter turnout for Clockwork Orange had a high percentage of white females voting for him, regardless of his past, regardless of he stepping outside of his marriage, you know, having sexual relations with porn stars. That doesn't matter. They still follow a code of white supremacy, and he is protected. That's the difference. That's the thing you guys got to understand. White supremacy is a code system. And in this channel strictly talks about countering that. Counter racism. And that we need our own. We need to separate and have our own infrastructure. Separate and have all 9 areas of activity, owning, controlling economics, education, entertainment, labor law, politics, religion, sex, and war. Point blank and simple. That's what we need. So again, with this guy, Judge Brett Kavanaugh, he's protected by white supremacy. Fully protected. No matter what, because guess what? He follows a code of white supremacy. Sure, he allegedly stepped outside of his marriage, but he's not doing one thing that the code of white supremacy doesn't allow. If you notice this. And if it does come out that he has done this, I guarantee you they will cut ties with him. The fact that he has not had any allegations or any woman to come out that is black or non-white to accuse him of sexual allegations. If a non-black woman came out, a non-white woman came out and accused Brett Kavanaugh of sexual misconduct or sexual allegations, Trump, the head of white supremacy, etc., will cut ties with him ASAP. Point blank and simple. Point blank and simple. All right. So he's following a code, and he's protected by the code of white supremacy. Black folks, we need to have a code. Rules and regulations, things you can and cannot do. A code system concept, like our brother Neely Fuller would say. We don't have that. The only code that we have is the coon code. We can coon it up like Bill Cosby did for decades. Right? So those are my thoughts about this guy, Brett Kavanaugh, man. He's protected. His base, or excuse me, Trump's base, they protect the shield of white supremacy. They protect the system of white supremacy. They follow that code. Groping, no big deal. Rape, nah, no big deal. We support our guy. We support our guy for right now. But if he steps out, if he breaks that code, we're going to cut ties with him. Guarantee that's going to happen. Any non-white woman to come out and accuse Brett Kavanaugh of sexual misconduct, allegations, etc., they're going to cut ties with him ASAP. Point blank and simple. But anyway, those are my thoughts about that. Leave your comments down below in the comments section, family. I will be having a live stream this Friday around 9 o'clock. So I may have a guest on the show. We'll see what happens, family. So stay tuned for the live stream this Friday. All right, family. Until next time, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and share my videos if you can. It helps with my channel grow. I'm trying to get 10K subscribers before the end of this year, so you guys can help me out with that. So anyway, family, until next time, Chauncey, aka the Black Separatist, signing out. Peace.